What's going on, Philadelphia? Hello, everybody. The Eagles are heading to the Super Bowl to play the Chiefs. I'm John Barchard, Vince Quinn, Taylor Cordatis, all on Vince Quinn's couch as we were just getting done with hanging out at Broad Street, and there was quite a party going on there. Tons of footage coming on YouTube over the next couple of days.
So much footage.
Go subscribe to TikTok and all the rest because, oh my God, you guys were crazy out there. We tried to get a live stream going out there, and it just, we barely left your apartment, and nothing was working. So, in terms of, 5G and LTE.
Well, yeah, but things were working for a little bit, but then it also became like every time you would try to make a point or I would try to make a point, everybody would come through and just be like,
oh, that too.
I just want to say, go fucking Birds, man, go Birds. And we were like, yeah, go fucking Birds. And like, that was our whole attempt at the post-game show.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody steals it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we did just get ripped off on Instagram, which is life as a content creator.
Allegedly. Yeah. But no one is, everybody's going to try. Everyone is going to try to steal the credit away from the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're already seeing it there. So let me just put that to rest. If you are feeling bad, remorseful, or like, the Eagles really don't deserve this, shut up. Shut up. This is why this was all planned way before, probably 2 years ago, when Jalen Hurts was drafted. This was part of all that. When we were sitting at Sandbox Studios during the draft and A.J. Brown gets traded for, I immediately yelled, oh, my God, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. That second, and now it's here. It was made for all that from years and years ago. Howie Roseman knows there's an easy schedule coming up. So what do you do when there's an easy schedule coming up? You pile on, and you keep piling on. And there's still room to pile on because even though they're going to the Super Bowl, there's a top 10 pick coming. So however you want to credit this, Jalen and everybody else got them to where they needed to in the regular season to get them the 1 seed. It is not their fault that the Giants beat the Vikings, and no one talks about that. Sorry, what do you want, a harder challenge? It is not the fault of Hassan Reddick that he lined up against a tight end to go kill Brock Purdy on the second series and effectively end the game then and there. That's a Kyle Shanahan problem. You did not protect the only quarterback that was functional in this game. And man, was it, people got a little nervous in the second quarter at 7-7. Everyone's hanging around.
Wonky.
But man, after that, it just became, I guess you can run against the 49ers. And by the way, here's 3 touchdowns and go fuck yourself and get on out of here. And that's what it felt like. The entire city was so calm coming into this game. And
maybe we were. I don't know about the whole city.
No, well,
I was
most
calm.
of us were.
Let's be real.
I was as confident as I could have been. I never had a doubt in this. As much as I was pissed off in the first quarter and second quarter, I knew they were going to win the game one way or another, and especially when Brock Purdy not only goes out, but goes, I can't throw.
Yeah.
Is what the close-up shows you of him talking to Kyle Shanahan. You're just like, yeah, this game's over. They're going to win the game. They're going to the Super Bowl. And that is the thing, right? You have hit on this. We've known that this team was good enough all along. We've said it all year long. We've always believed in the quality of this team, the quality of these guys, and the moments, the games where even the ugly games they've won on the road. Indianapolis, Arizona, the way they came back in Jacksonville when they played like shit early in that game. They were down. It was rainy. It was miserable. It was cold. And they came back and won. Like, they've done this all year long. People have doubted them all year long. They will continue to not give them credit all year long, and those people will be wrong. It's just this. There's nothing else that this team can do. They set franchise records for a team that's been around since 1933. Yes. I mean, what else are you looking for? I mean, it's constant excuses and deflecting and finding other things to invest in. This whole week was, oh, no, it's not Jalen Hurts. It's not the guy who all year went from maybe he's a starting quarterback to holy shit, this guy's the fucking MVP of the league. It was like, no, let's look at Brock Purdy. Let's look at this guy over here. We're just gonna sidestep, and that's always what it's been. It's going to be the same thing for the next 2 weeks, and it's just going to be so frustrating. I'm already pissed off about it. I'm already pissed off about it.
Yeah, because what's the next excuse? That Patrick Mahomes' ankle is not healthy enough and he didn't get the Chiefs, or it should have been the Bengals, and that's the same people that were telling us all week that Joe Burrow is actually a better quarterback and Patrick Mahomes is a better player. Whatever dumbass like started that trend over this, it's the same thing. Like, it's the Eagles were made for this current moment right now. Like, it was all perfectly set in place. I don't know what else you really want to kind of curtail and make yourself feel a little better about. Like, yeah, I'm sorry that the 49ers, a running team, specifically a very cool running team, gets all this credit in the world for being unique and all this stuff. And then the Eagles in this game, they can't find anybody open. And I don't think that's the fault of Jalen Hurts. They're just like,
No.
The secondary had a very good game plan. They locked down. They barely blitzed. They went, with 7. They dropped 7 most of the time. So they took out the running lanes. There was Jalen that was breaking his own pocket. But other than that, they decided, you know what? Let's just go run the fucking ball against them. And they did. And especially that's all you should be doing when your starting quarterback is Josh Johnson, and he also gets knocked out. So Brock Purdy's got to come in, and then you got to run the wing T offense. Not the Eagles' problem. That's the 49ers' problem. The whole run of this is the Eagles kept getting healthier. They were able to rest their players for this moment, for Maddox to be here, for Lane Johnson to be healthier, for Jalen Hurts to be where he is. Like, that's the point of winning the 1 seed.
No. That's their fault. They shouldn't be that good. They shouldn't win that many games.
Sorry,
guys.
No.
They shouldn't be allowed to
But
take a
those
week
games
off.
don't count either. Sorry.
The problem is that they played too hard to get the week off, so that was their fault. They shouldn't have done that. They should have played worse, so they would have to play on the road, maybe give Dallas the 1 seed or something like that.
Yeah, that would have been a better
They should have
test.
handed all those things over and done that. And then, they shouldn't have gotten healthy. That would be a mistake. They should have really told the Vikings to go and beat the Giants. It was their fault. I mean, if Jalen just called Kirk Cousins and said, listen, Kirk, I believe in you, buddy. You could go do this game. That would have pivoted everything. So it's their fault. But that's what it is, man. It's just going to be constant bullshit because it's not just Patrick Mahomes. Kadarius Toney's hurt in this game. Juju Smith-Schuster's hurt in this game. So what's going to happen? That's your quarterback. That's 2 of your wide receivers. And frankly, their wide receiving core isn't that good to begin with anyway. It's Travis Kelce and like Pacheco is a running back. Yeah. So now we're going to go into this game. People are going to be like, well, do the Eagles really deserve a Super Bowl if they beat an injured Mahomes? And
yes, they do.
Goddamn right. It's not their fault. All you're doing is you're playing the teams that you're up against, and you're beating them accordingly, right? It's not like they just went against this game with Josh Johnson and fucking half of Brock Purdy, not even, and they won that game 14-7. That was 31-7. That game was over at halftime. And for anybody that wants to make it feel any different, you are completely wrong. I mean, they never had a shot. And so it's not their fault. They're doing everything you could possibly ask for them in those moments. And to do anything and take away credit from them is patently ridiculous, and that's all people are going to do. Like, make no mistake, the Eagles are the villain going into the Super Bowl.
100%.
Nobody wants them to win. They don't like Nick Sirianni. They don't like Jalen Hurts. Guys like Chris Sims don't want to admit they're wrong about him, and they would rather see the Eagles lose and do everything in their power to explain it away rather than acknowledge the fact that this team has been great all year. It's one of the best rosters in the NFL, and they're going to clean house in 2 weeks.
And, man, let me just start right there. This offensive line absolutely crushed the 49ers in this one, and that's what won them the game from start to finish. No matter what, it's been winning them games for, what are we going on? We're going on our 20th game this season. It's pretty amazing. Like, it is unbelievable. The balls on, well, it's not even balls. It's just, you've pointed this out many times. Listen, there could have been way too many points in this game where the Eagles could have cowered. In fact, like during some of those 3 and outs, they probably did too much of that. But, going forward on 4th down on the first drive, and let's not just, we won't watch that Devontae Smith replay too hard or too closely.
No,
it didn't
won't do
happen.
that.
We're watching it on repeat now. Now that it's official, we're watching that on repeat all day. That was an amazing catch. It was an amazing catch.
But the fact that, Hurts had like 50 hours of time right after they ran that play afterwards, and the 4th and 1 when they're on their own 31, and you're going to be able to get that yard, and the game's probably going to be over when you need that yard too. It's just, there were so many situations where I thought they could have gone south. Like we were talking to Frankie's brother when on Broad Street, and Stan's like, yeah, everybody was kind of dead silent in the second quarter, not really sure where it was going one way or the other. So they really pulled out the stops when they needed to go get that play, and those are the 2 biggest things I think solidified that game offensively. It wasn't really happening in the passing game, so we gotta give the defense a little bit of rest here. We give them a drive, and the next thing you know, this thing's on cruise control at 5:00, just like I said.
Yeah,
this thing
you
was
nailed
over.
that. You nailed that, dude, in the speech earlier this week. You're like, I'll see you on Broad Street at 5:00. And sure enough, that game was fucking over because the thing that really changed, and this was the credit to San Francisco early, the defense was great for them. Like, when you've got these read options for Jalen, more often than not, he makes you wrong even if you're making the right play. And San Francisco was able to make the right play, even though Jalen was making them wrong. He's making good reads, but their just ability to react and cover space was ridiculous. So they played a great game for a while. But once it got to the third quarter, you could see Jalen was able to move the ball on the ground himself. And once he started doing that, it was completely over. It just wasn't a contest anymore. So you tip your cap to San Francisco. But yeah, they didn't have the horses anymore. When they were in desperation mode, they're just running end arounds, which is like, it's fucking pathetic.
Double reverses.
I mean, really, it was watching a fly that had been swatted and was like sputtering in circles on the ground. That was the last 2 quarters of an NFC championship game. And for the San Francisco, they made it as far as they did. And again, people use that to discredit the Eagles. But look, Hassan Reddick was wide open. He did beat the shit out of Brock Purdy in the moment. It was a totally clean hit. And it is what it is. That's football. So you deal with it. And for the Eagles, you're going to the goddamn Super Bowl. Now, here's the other thing that I want to talk about, too, because you mentioned it a minute ago. That 4th and 1 specifically with Nick Sirianni at the Eagles' own 39 and their willingness to go for that, that's a 7-7 game right there. I mean, you had Christian McCaffrey break the tackle. He goes long, ties it up. Everybody's got a knot in their chest. And he says, fuck it. We're going for it on 4th and 1. After that, you get 3 different penalties. You get a pass interference, a hands to the face, illegal contact. They end up scoring a touchdown. Miles Sanders, 14-7. 2 touchdowns for Miles today. Who would have thought?
Hey.
Who would have ever thought?
Boston Scott gets in there too, which is great.
He does too. But that call specifically changed the entire dynamic of the game. And you've got to give Sirianni credit. And the same thing, people won't want to do it. And that dynamic, Kyle Shanahan scared, likes to punt, not aggressive. Sirianni's super aggressive.
Yep.
And one team's in the Super Bowl, and they should be.
And that's, a huge part of everything we talked about rolling into this one is because, like, those moments are what has defined the season. At 70% clip, they're going for it on 4th down. They're making sure that they're giving themselves an opportunity. And, yeah, you had to get something there. Like, playing down to, Mufasa and Kyle Shanahan and, like, yes, we're going to try and eliminate this offense because it's the only thing we have left. And once you break that barrier, and after that whole entire drive did, it's exactly why I love Nick's here and the analytical department of the Philadelphia Eagles, because I'm pretty sure between like Doug Peterson now with Nick Sirianni was not in their DNA, and it was kind of like, guys, it's right in front of you. This is how we win Super Bowls here. So I love this. I don't know how you're feeling, T, but
I mean there was, 4 consecutive drives where we were questioning Shane Steichen's calling. There was a lot of like just scared running calls, like very unnecessary Jalen run design plays. Like at this point, why are you putting Jalen in that situation? I still don't understand that.
Yeah, that was a key. What was it? Late 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter, something.
It was
like
more
that.
than any time.
Yeah,
like we're still fresh off an injury. Like,
yeah,
why do
a
we
lot
need
of design QB runs? And
why are we doing this still? Like, it's so unnecessary.
Even outside of that, like kind of some of the odd, like Kenny Gainwell 3rd and 4, we're gonna spread everybody out, bring them in motion, and then run and like surprise the 49ers. And we're like, Shane, what are you doing, man? So I think that was pretty much that weird cat and mouse game for the 2nd quarter, and then they had enough. It was like, I'm pretty sure Nick took over. Like, Shane, knock that shit off, would you?
Yeah, throw some balls down the field and like let's just pass in general and figure it out that way.
Stoutland, you and all that other stuff too. Yeah, absolutely.
But running through it here, I mean, some of my notes from the 4th quarter, which there weren't many because the second half was just such a joke. But Jalen runs. He takes that hit. He's grimacing after he takes that hit.
Terrible.
We're going to see how bad he was after that.
Terrible.
And it gets worse because he has 2 keepers after that.
Yep.
The next 2 immediate plays, he runs the ball. The
One
3rd play,
too,
he runs it again after that. And that was the dirty shot when he got hit out of bounds. So he gets injured, then he runs it 3 more times and takes a cheap shot. Like, you can't be doing that. And that's also why all this stuff that's going to be building up about Mahomes and oh my God, this isn't a legitimate win or whatever. Jalen's fucking hurt.
Well,
and
you
that guy's
missed-
playing.
But hey, I'm
consistently hurt.
gonna let Jalen make those calls though. You got 2 games left in the season. If they need him to go be a power back to get over this 49ers defense, whatever.
Oh, did somebody say that maybe 8 weeks ago and got a lot of heat for it? I'm just saying.
In the
I'm
playoffs,
just saying.
in the playoffs,
I'm just
a lot different.
Yep.
It's a lot different than
Yep.
the regular
Well,
season.
You did miss the end of that drive where they force him in the end zone. Hashtag Sadhawk.
Yeah, man. And
Tell me, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Tell me,
Yeah.
tell me that is not clear as day obvious.
Stathawk extraordinaire. And then
Let him.
he got with that touchdown.
That's fine. Yes, let him, but let's
Yeah.
not act like that's not the case.
Definitely the case. So and it's important to your point because they immediately followed it up with saying that was the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a single season ever combined
And-
with 15.
I think that's amazing that you're able to get at least that out of this game because like we've been saying, everyone is going to now go back to Jalen Hurts can't throw the football, or it's going to be really easy to do X, Y, and Z. And man, I like 49ers defense is really good. Chiefs or Bengals defense is phenomenal. Like you saw them adjust against the Chiefs in the second half today if you watched it. But man, the Chiefs defense ain't nowhere close to the 49ers defense and being that intoxicating or like it's suffocating. And it is just, I think it plays right into the Eagles offense. Same on the, I am so jacked. I've been waiting for an Andy Reid Eagles, Super Bowl matchup again. I thought we were honestly going to come close to that in 17 and just didn't quite get that. So I'm excited that Andy's coming here. Any first impressions with that? Like you're playing Andy Reid in the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's the energy around it's going to be so insane. It's going to be so much fun, man. I mean, it's Andy Reid and Nick Sirianni, which Sirianni on some degree is in the Andy Reid tree, I guess, when you go deep down through the roots. But, dude, the Eagles are the better team. And right now, my main thing is they're the better team and they should win the Super Bowl. That's it. They're the better team, and they should win the Super Bowl. When you just lined it up position by position, what the roster is, the fact that Mahomes is hurt, what the matchups are. We've wondered about it all year. How much time have we spent this year? Oh, there's maybe 3 good teams.
Yep.
And then the Bengals figured it out. And we're like, all right, there's 4 good teams. And then San Francisco went on, all right, there's 5 good teams. But Eagles best in the NFC, and now you see where it is. They're the best team left in the league.
100%.
And that's all it is. You're the best team left. You're well built everywhere. Pass rush, turnovers, offensive line, quarterback play, just general efficiency, everything. They're the better team, and they should win the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. It's it shouldn't be shocking to anybody at this point, and I can't believe that they're back here, and it's a much different feeling than 17. Way, way different. Like even being down on Broad Street, it just kind of felt like a very calm after brunch. Like everybody just got tuned up a little bit. Everybody had their mimosas. Everybody had their bloodies, and it was just like, hey guys, we're celebrating this great moment. And that's what's so crazy is I don't even know how to act right now. As you can probably tell, I have no clue how to act about like, okay, like the monkey's off the back. I don't know how anybody else feels. I just feel like so calm and happy and being like, all right, let's just go win another Super Bowl. I'm not freaking out. I'm not like going crazy. I'm just sitting here going like, this feels right.
It's not a backup quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference.
I mean, Super Bowl 52 was Frodo Baggins throwing the ring in the volcano. You know what I mean? Like it was a fucking insanity play that made no sense whatsoever, but it was the most beautiful thing ever when you saw it. So you look at what this team is now. Yeah, I mean, crazy good roster. They've won a Super Bowl. Everybody, like, all the emotional baggage that everybody's carried for so long. I mean, one of the cool things about the parade was, like, I remember seeing people that, like, I'm wearing this jacket because this was my grandfather's jacket, and he literally loved this team and never saw them win a Super Bowl, and, like, I'm wearing this for him in that moment. You know, like, that was powerful, real shit. And Now that that's out of the way, it's weird to operate on a level like it's more of a football thing.
Right.
You know, like that emotional element on that degree comes down a little because we have experience, we have gone through, and it was only 5 years ago. So it's recent memory. So now it's like, okay, what is this team? What does this mean? And where is it going? It's a whole different dynamic. But I think the thing is that's so exciting about it, and it's something that they talked about when they won the Super Bowl, which was this is the standard. Like, this is what it's supposed to be.
New norm.
And think about it. Look, you can say what you want about all the years in between. They had a franchise quarterback that died on them. They ate $38 million to get rid of him. They've gotten back to the Super Bowl. If every franchise in the league would not die for that, they're fucking lying to you. I mean, it just never happens. Nobody gets to do this, and they've done it in a way that nobody's ever done it before. This is Howie Roseman. This is the normal. Like, this is what they do, and it's the same foundation of all those years in between. Offensive line, defensive line, being smart with where you invest your money in terms of positions. Like, look at what they are. Dude, Kaiser White and TJ Edwards cost them nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. Now, I mean, TJ especially is going to get fucking paid this offseason. He's up as a free
Eagles
agent.
should probably hang on to him. Yeah.
But for now, look at what all these players are. I mean, they saved so much money. They made such good deals. They could just sign Bradbury for like $10 million, and it didn't matter. And he's an all-pro. It's just like they're run so well. They know what they're doing. They understand the vision. They understand multi-year building. They're going to handle it with Jalen just fine. It's just an amazing franchise, and I think that's the biggest thing. You've got one of the best teams that you could possibly ask for. There's reasons to believe that this can keep staying as high-level competitive football. Nobody's been to as many conference championships since 2000 as this team, and I think that stays on track.
Huge, and not only that with the building and everything, but I mean, I think the MVP of the entire year is Jeff Stoutland in this offensive line, the whole group, and I would almost imagine I'm just going to say it. I think Stoutland's the brains behind the entire offense, and that has been true for the last 2 years between like all the running concepts that they've been able to do and all the things that they've been able to sustain, and you saw it here again. It's just it's incredible. Dickerson, who got, looks like we didn't even see any updates or anything on that.
No,
but
that's a big one.
Have to see what's going on there. It might be the same thing as Brock Purdy with the, it's like almost in the same location, whatever it is, but it's just an unbelievable line of beef that just keeps this kid up and keeps this running game going, and it's very creative. I would say between that and Nick and Jalen and Howie has been the four biggest parts of this turnaround here, and not to mention A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith having two wide receivers over 1,000 yards at the same time in Philadelphia is pretty crazy, and let's just keep enjoying this, just like we're enjoying all these Liquid Deaths that we have there. Thank you again to them for an incredible season, liquiddeath.com/bell. And we'll see a lot of them in the Super Bowl. I don't think we're going to Arizona. I think we want to stick here and party with you guys in Philly. So
we don't want to go to Arizona. Come on.
No. We do definitely want to watch the Super Bowl with you. So we got to get some ideas brewing there, but man,
I got to get a bigger apartment.
What an incredible fucking season, guys! I can't believe the NFC is just as bad as we thought it was, and like the Eagles are just as clearly above everybody as possible. They are dominant, man.
They would be,
and they have a chance to be dominant for a very long time. Fucking A, we will see you in the Discord because there's a lot to talk about over the next 2 weeks. I'm sure there's injury reports where we're going over massively, but man, enjoy this. Enjoy all of this because no one really believed that this was going to happen except for these three idiots sitting on the couch here. So, guys, anything before we say goodbye for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I gotta say, we filmed so much ridiculous shit.
Yes.
Walking from my apartment over to City Hall, and if you're not following us on like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, we're gonna be putting so much stuff out over the next couple of days.
Yeah.
It's so insane. So if you want to see all the chaos of what it was like downtown, if you couldn't make it, or if you experienced it but did not record it all, holy shit, it was wild. So go check that out.
And it's basically a bonus show worth of stuff because there's some other takes that were going in between. And especially when we hit Broad Street. There might be some of you that we saw out in the street. So definitely say hi. Make sure you follow us at Bell and the Bird across all socials. T, anything before we get out of here?
Lane Johnson MVP and Hassan Reddick co-MVP.
Couldn't
of
agree
this
more.
season. Yeah.
I think Reddick and AJ Brown equally as important now. As I didn't think that was possible. Hassan Reddick being like an All-Pro, Bradbury being an
Especially
All-Pro.
when he first signed here. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Unreal. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, for listening, for watching. Go buy some hats, would you? I'm sure there's going to be a new promo code soon.
There's got to be. Come on, Nick.
We believe in you, Nick.
I am John Barchard for Vince Quinn, and of course for Taylor Cordatis here in lovely Fairmount, Philadelphia. We will see you guys very soon, and go Birds. We're going to the Super Bowl!
Super Bowl!